Charan. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Visapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutapati Kamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavansha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahigana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजना सहितं कृष्ण चैतन्य देवं श्री राधा कृष्ण पादान सहगण ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितांश हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधो जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांता राधा कांता नमस्ते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधरा श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय Hare Krishna. So welcome everyone for this catch-up class during the week. You missed out class probably on 12th of April or something like that. So we'll just do a quick revision. 9:23. I can start from backwards today. Jamati Mataji.
I'm so sorry, Prabhu. I wasn't there last class.
Okay, no worries.
Sorry.
Divya Mataji, you're there?
Sorry, Prabhu, I wasn't there as well.
No problem.
Sorry.
Ragvi Mataji? Yeah.
Prabhu, I was there, but I'll give it a pass. I'm sorry, Prabhu.
Okay, no worries.
You want me to go, Prabhu?
Yes, Mataji. We're going to tell you. See if you can. 23.
Do you want me to read the translation?
Yes, please, Mataji.
Okay. Those who are devotees of other gods and who worship them with faith actually worship only me, O son of Kunti, but they do so in a wrong way. So, Prabhuji, you mentioned that Krishna is actually, actually, this can be related to Bhagavad Gita, in Bhagavad Gita 7.21, where Krishna is actually saying that if they want to worship a particular, people want to worship particular demigod, that their faith can be increased. Krishna will help them in that way. So that in that verse is saying that, and so in this verse, Krishna is saying actually also that worshipping demigods, you are worshipping me only. So if we're worshiping, if you're worshipping demigods, you are worshipping me only. And so, however, they do so, they're saying that they do so obviously in the wrong way. So because the demigods are like, for example, it's given also in the purport that the demigods are in a way that different officers and directors in the government of the Supreme Lord. So however, one has to follow the laws made by the government. So the government being Krishna and the officers are the demigods. So we should therefore follow the laws that are made by the government, not the officers. So we have in that way we should worship the Supreme Lord. That will then satisfy the officers also automatically. And in similarly, we can also say that if we water the roots rather than the leaves, so the roots then, if being Krishna, then the leaves can be satisfied also in that way. So here in the verse it says te pi mam eva konteya. So they also this is, you said, is the main the main crux of this verse. Those who worship demigods only worship me, actually. So yeah, so this is they mention in the verse it's saying that and then it's saying, however, that worship is obviously avidhi purvakam, which means it's in the wrong way. So it's not approached properly, even though Krishna is saying that you're worshipping me, but it's not in the proper way. So and also this can be linked to Bhagavad Gita 4.11, where you mention ye yatha mam prabhadante, all the jivas are walking on my path, but not all the paths lead to Krishna. So yeah, so basically this verse is saying that we should only really worship Krishna. Otherwise we're worshipping demigods, but Krishna is not advocating worshiping demigods in this way.
Thank you, Mataji. Just one thing, I think you probably said that Pepi Mameva Conte, this is the crux. Actually, that's not the crux.
Okay.
What some Hindu organizations propose that is the crux, and they sort of stop the verse here. They just put three-liner and they say, Pepi Mameva Conte, you're also worshipping me. But that's not the crux. The crux is the last line. Yajanti avidhi purvakam. That's the correct understanding. So they are worshipping me, means Krishna, but in a wrong way. So obviously, as you correctly said, Krishna is not endorsing others' worship, he's saying worship me. Now, is that an egoistic statement of Krishna? Don't go to anyone else, come to me because I'm the greatest. Can anyone throw some light on that? Krishna is saying, no, come to me only. Mahavasu Prabhu is saying something? Is Krishna making an egoistic statement that only come to me, don't go to my parts and parcels?
No. In fact, Krishna is actually, because if you go to the verse in 7th chapter, Krishna is saying that even whatever they are doing or whatever benefits they give you is only because the empowerment that Krishna gives to them. And in fact, he is happy that if you want to go to my ministers and you want to get the service done, he is more than happy to empower the ministers so that they can, so that those ministers can serve the devotee.
Yeah.
But then eventually it is Krishna who is doing it. So it's not like a sort of egoistic statement. Krishna is actually telling them that whatever they're doing is avidhi purvakam. That means it's not a regulated form of doing the service or worship.
Like in the purport, Prabhuji, the Prabhupada explains, like, watering the plant. Instead of watering the root, if we water the plant leaves and the branches, that is not going to suffice. That's not going to go to the roots, or that's not going to help the plant grow. So the Vidhi Purvakam is watering the roots, not the leaves and the branches. So worshipping Krishna is the main, or the Vidhi Purvakam, and any other thing is Avidhi Purvakam.
Yeah, that's right. So we should just take it like that, because fact has to be presented. If a child doesn't know where to water the tree, and child is putting, water in the leaves and flowers and fruits, so mother comes and says, beta, just put the water in the roots, and that will sort of nourish the whole plant better. So it's not an egoistic statement, it's a factual statement. President of the country is one, and he says, you can go with my ministers, but you know what? I am the president. I have all the powers. If you come to me, I can fulfill everything. You don't have to go to, energy minister separately and then water minister separately. So it's a fact presentation. It's not an egoistic statement. And why we feel sometimes like that? Because we like that. we become people-centered. I should be the center of attraction because we have that feeling. But we have to understand it's a fact which Krishna is presenting, as also Prabhupada and Priya Mataji both said. In the 7th chapter, Krishna only is saying, even if you go to the Devatas, actually I'm empowering them and I am making your faith stronger in them by sitting in your heart. So he is in the Devatas, he is in the Jivas as well. But he's presenting a fact here that, that's not very proper worship. Okay, thank you. Let's go.
Prabhuji, I think also the demigods are also more pleased if we worship Krishna.
Yeah, exactly, because demigods are also devotees. They may not be pure devotees all the time, but they are very high quality devotees. Whenever they have problem, they go to Lord Vishnu. Only Manushya go here and there, but demigods, so intelligent, they are in sattva. They are really devotees. Sometimes they have some mixed desire. Okay, now 24. What's the context of 24 before we start? Whoever is doing it. Mahasa Prabhu, you are ready?
Yes. The context is like when it is said that avidhi purvakam, right? Krishna is actually explaining it as to how it is avidhi purvakam,
Yeah.
right? And shall I go ahead with the explanation?
Yes, please.
So there is before this there is one more reference, and that is in chapter that is Bhoktaram Yagna Tapasam Sarva Loka Maheshwaram Sudam
529.
Sarva Bhutanam Myatmamam Shanti Mrichati. So here Krishna is actually re-emphasizing it, but in a more better in a tattva form, because it says that I am the only enjoyer and the master of all sacrifices. Therefore, those who do not recognize my transcendental nature fall down. So Krishna is saying that, okay, even if you want to do it vidhi purvakam, then the downfall is that you will never actually be able to perform the real goal of life, which is actually going back home, back to Godhead, right? Rather that you would be actually doing it, you will be enjoying the material world, but unfortunately, it's all labor. That is Shrama eva hi kevalam. That is got no meaning whatsoever. It's not going to
The
fetch you the real
reference in
results.
Bhagavad Gita for that, what you're saying, you have given Bhagavatam reference, which is good. What's the Bhagavad Gita reference of that? Some maybe 921. Chede pote
920.
lokam vishanti. I'm just saying, in the same chapter, same reference is given.
Yes.
So if you do demigod worship, as you're saying correctly, what will happen? You can do it, no problem, but 921. Kama
Yes.
kama gata gatam labante. So what they receive only birth and death. They don't receive much. Yes, please continue.
So it's the word-to-word translation is Aham hi sarva yagnanam. That means I am actually the yagna, because yagna, the other name of yagna, Vishnu's other name is yagna. So any yagna that is been done is actually to please Lord Vishnu, right? It can be any sort of yagna, but ultimately the enjoyer or the offerings of the yagna should be given to Lord Vishnu, right? And then the second line says that Bhokta cha Prabhur evacha. Bhokta cha means he is actually the enjoyer and he is the Lord of everything. Then na tu tam bhaja abhijanati. That means the person who does not know this, tatve na tas chayanti te. That means he will actually fall down. Chayanti means actually falling. Chavanti is falling down.
Yes.
So it is like a person whosoever is doing any sort of what he says an activity to please the demigods, right? To get material benefit, they need to know eventually all the fruits will be given to Vishnu, and it's actually Vishnu who empowers the demigods to give it back to the devotees. So if a person does not know this real tattva, that's why the word is known as tattvena. If he does not know this reality, then whatever he does, right, thinking that he is going to enjoy it for himself, then it's nothing but Shrama eva hi kevalam.
Very good. Thank you, Prabhuji. Vijay Mataji, you want to continue the next one?
Yanti Dev. Okay. Those who worship the demigods will take birth among in the demigods, and those who worship the ancestors go to the ancestors. Those who worship the ghost and spirits will take birth among such beings, and those who worship me will live with me. The Krishna continuing the previous verses and explaining that that if you do not, like, basically what will happen for the people who worship the demigods, they will go to demigods, and again he says, like, whoever was worship the ancestor, they will go to the ancestors, and then and also says that
Basically, he is still explaining what's the fault. So in 923, he was saying it was Avidhi, is still explaining that and contrasting
Yes.
as well.
Yes. So basically is explaining the results of the previous two verses, that what will happen if you do that. This is where
Abhidhi.
your destination will be. This is the Abhidhi. And similarly, where you do the Vidhi Purvakam, worshipping me, that you will, he is promising that you will stay with me forever.
Perfect. And in this, the problem is Devrata, Devan. So if you go to Devata, what's the problem? Devata's
Devalota.
boons are temporary. Devatas are temporary. Their abodes is also temporary. Everything is temporary. They give you a boon. Hiranyakashipu got a boon. That was temporary. Even Brahmaji is temporary. Brahmaloka is temporary. Everything is temporary. So Krishna says, "Yanti mad yajanopi mam." So if you want some eternal benefit, come here. Nice selling a product, huh?
Yes.
My product is better. Huh? So we should also sell like Krishna. Sell Krishna like Krishna. That means make convincing a statement. This is pretty convincing. Very, very clear statement Krishna is giving. No dilemma, no doubts will be remaining in the heart. It's Abhidhi. You can do it, no problem. You'll go and come back. Everything is temporary there. Why don't you come your own home? And Prabhupada called it back to Godhead. Huh?
And one more thing that I actually, sorry, Prabhu. One more thing that I actually try to understand in this verse is that Krishna shows is not biased at all. See, he says that if you're worshipping the Devatas, you go to Devatas. If you're worshipping Pitras, then you go to the Pitras. Although the empowering, like Krishna is actually the empowering person who is empowering all of them. But Krishna is not a very possessive person. Okay, because I've given it to, so you have to come to me. No, Krishna is giving them the liberty. He's so merciful that he wants to make sure that the devotee gets what he wants.
So he does not interfere with the desire of the jiva. If the jiva desires even some inauspicious things, eventually, he sort of tries to give warnings from here and there, but if he doesn't listen, Krishna says, okay, you want to become a pig? So be it. Huh? Become a pig, enjoy your life. And pig says, I'm very happy. Krishna says, okay, what can I say? Huh? So yes, you're right, Prabhu. Krishna is not, Chaitanya Prabhu was saying, a God who commands, like it says, Bible is a book of commandments. So Chaitanya Prabhu says, Gita is not a book of commandments. Gita is a book of choices. Gita gives choices to the jiva. If you do this, you come back to me. You do that, you go to the demigods. Or you do something else, you go, adho gachanti tamsaha. So you go down. So Krishna is very respecting and loving father who's giving choices to his kids. Not like an enforcement. I am right. And he says, Mera mat hai, is my opinion. He's the supreme personality of Godhead. Even fear is fearful from Krishna. Fear personified is fearful of Krishna. And that supreme person is saying, this is my opinion. Yathechisi tatha kuru. Whatever your ichha tatha kuru. Even materially, we don't say to that our kids, isn't it? No, I'm the father. I'm more experienced than you. I'm your well-wisher. You must listen me. Krishna is saying, Yatha ichhisi tatha kuru. Whatever your ichha, you do that. Such an amazing God. Thank you, Prabhu. Very nice point. Krishna's actual heart is getting shown in these verses. Now, 926. Who was there last week? Ujjwala Samataji or Akhanda Sa Prabhu?
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah, Hare Krishna Prabhu.
The little context first and then the verse.
Yeah. So up until now, Krishna has outlined that all other worships are temporary, the results are temporary, but whoever worships me, they come to me. So based on that, and he has also pointed out that how hard it is to worship the demigods. And doing all other worships. The demigod worship, like they do yagyas, they have to study the Vedas and all that. So they
Vidya Mamso Paputa Papa. So they have to do all the Yagya Rista, Sargatim Prathayante. So that is 920. Yes, Mataji.
Yeah. So with all the hard work, all they get is the temporary higher planetary system, which is also within this material world, and ultimately they fall down. But then Krishna has pointed out time and again that whoever worships me comes to me. So in that case, Krishna here in this verse is pointing out how easy it is to worship him and attain him.
Yeah, so just one thing here, Vishwanath Thakur sort of gives a question here. So Arjun says, okay, I agree that I should come to you. I should not go to demigods. But because you are higher than demigods, then worshipping you must be very, very difficult. Krishna says, no, that's not the case. There's a very nice logical way Krishna is saying, so you worship demigods, you go there, and as you said, they're all temporary, their phalas are temporary, they themselves are temporary. So Arjun sort of agrees to it. Okay, I'll buy your product. Your fridge is the best, your car is the best, so let's go for your car. But your car must be very expensive because it has so many good things. Yeah, that makes sense. When you go for a higher product which has more features, more iPhone or whatever, then you have to pay more. Krishna said, no, that's not the case. So this verse, if you look at from the context perspective as well, it's so beautiful. Krishna says, no, the conception is not correct. I am pleased with so simple worship. Yes, Mataji.
So Krishna here is pointing out how simple it is to worship him. So and also this verse also helps us understand his heart, how his heart is, and he's telling his devotees that it's very simple to worship me. So I'll read the translation. If one offers me with love and devotion a leaf, a flower, a fruit, or water, I will accept it. So here he has given various examples. So he has given the content, and he has also given the intent in this. So the content being, he has said that whoever offers me the patra, the leaf, the flower, a fruit, or a water, these are the contents. But he has given two important words here, which gives us the intent of the Lord. So he says bhaktya and bhakti uparatam. So he has highlighted this twice. So that means it's a very important point. And whatever the content is, it should be offered with bhakti. That is the most important ingredient when we are offering the Lord. So then you discussed about the various examples of patram, pushpam, phalam, toyam. So in the patram, you had said that the examples are, so you talked about the patra which Rukmini Mata had sent to Krishna. So just by sending a letter, Krishna had come, swiftly for her to deliver her, to take her back. And then about the leaves. So two examples were quoted. One was about Advaita Acharya. He offered Tulsi and Ganga water and had requested for the Lord to descend. And the second example is that of Govardhan Leela, where Govardhan had kept saying Aniyor, Aniyor, and Balramji had offered Tulsi leaf, and then he was satisfied. So these were the two examples.
Sorry, just can anyone remember one more example which just come to my mind? Everyone knows that story.
Rukmani.
Satyabhama.
Rukmani, Satyabhama.
Tulabhar. Tulabhar. More examples? That's a good example, but I remember something else. I just want to share. Draupadi, when she offered a little leaf, shark leaf to Krishna, Krishna says, I'm completely tushta, I'm satisfied. And all the Durvasa Munis, 60,000 disciples were satisfied. So Krishna just accepted a leaf, a part of leaf actually. That's another example. Yes, all examples are correct.
I think there is also a pastime of Radharani who was being weighed on the tula. And is that the correct example?
That's Satyabhama, Tulabhar.
Okay.
Satyabhama, Vijay Gopi Mata just mentioned that.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, okay. Yes, next.
And then we go to the next one, which is Pushpa. And so the example is Gajendra. He had offered, when he was in great distress, he offered a lotus to Lord Vishnu, and again Lord Vishnu came for his aid.
Yes, one more thing here. So Pushpas, another synonym of Pushpa is Suman. There's Suman Mataji as well. So Suman refers to Suman. Man means mind, Su means good. So we should also offer our mind to Krishna. So Pushpa also refers to our mind. Obviously, Suman means a good part of mind, not the bad part of mind. So we should offer that. Thank you. Next.
And then the third is Phala. So in the Phala, we had discussed the examples of fruit vendor and baby Krishna. So she had offered the simple fruits, and then Krishna gave her the various pearls and jewelry as a token of his appreciation. Like he can give anything and everything, but he gave this abundantly.
Yeah.
And then the other example is that of Shabri. Shabri had also tasted bear before offering it to the Lord of her heart. So that is another example. And the third example we discussed was of Vidurani. She offered peels of banana. which Krishna ate very heartily.
Yeah.
So we
And
can see from these various things that how Krishna is so easily pleased as long as the bhakti is there.
yeah.
And the
And
fourth example is, sorry,
yes, Mataji, fourth example of phala.
of water. Again, we
No,
discussed
no,
about.
we're still in
Sorry.
phala. Another
benefit
meaning of
benefit
phala.
of karma. We
Yes.
offer the
karma.
offer
So we
the
should
benefit
offer
of
the
all
fruit
our acts.
as well as the action of the fruit or reaction of the fruit to Krishna, and then we will be free from bondage. So as Pushpa has a meaning, phala also has a meaning. Okay, please, Mataji, carry on.
The fourth one is Toyam, which is water. So we had discussed that earlier, that Advaita Acharya offered Gangajal. So when we see all these various examples and we see the content, how easy and simple it is to offer to the Supreme Lord, he can be easily pleased and he can be easily purchased also. So we have seen earlier that worship of demigods is so difficult versus worship of Krishna, if done with the right intent, is so easy.
Now, what are the two key words in this verse, which we discussed last week? Two key words.
So, Bhakti Uparatam, you said. So we give upahar to the Lord. So upahar should be done with bhakti. So that is one important
Bhakti is
thing.
one. Second,
Prayachati.
Ashnami, Prabhu, accept.
Ashnami. Huh? So you give bhakti to the Lord, and Lord says, Ashnami, I accept.
I accept.
Now, if you, even to a normal guest, you know, if any friend comes and you don't give him or her something with love, will he accept? So when Krishna went to Hastinapur and Duryodhana said, no, Krishna, I have made a big feast for you. Please come and have it. So Krishna said, I will not come to your place. On his face, he sort of rejected his proposal. And he said, anyone's eat in someone's house in two conditions. The first condition is he should be hungry. If you are hungry, then you can eat someone else's house, even if you are not friends. And second condition is you should have some loving relationship between that person and you, right? So only two conditions. And he says, I am not hungry. I'm neither hungry, nor I have good relationship with you. Krishna says on the face of Duryodhana, I'm neither hungry, nor I have good relationship with you. So I will not accept your proposal. So he made, what's that song? Duryodhan ka chappan bhog na khayo, shak vidur ghar khayo. ऐसे प्रेम पुजारी दीनानाथ कौन है किसको पता है who knows that भजन
दुर्योधन को मेवा त्याग्यो साग विदुर कर खाई सबसे ऊंची
thank you Prabhuji so that's a very nice bhajan so Duryodhan ka meva tyago he had cooked a big wonderful feast. Krishna said I'm not coming to you so Krishna is not impressed with your big wonderful meal. Does it mean we should not offer big wonderful meal to Krishna? He's asking patra, so just offer patta. What is the intention here of Krishna? Only patta? Only a drop of water?
Actually, it is said that when we offer to the Lord, He is actually also seeing how much we are holding back.
Yes.
So we should offer wholeheartedly whatever we can.
Yes, very nice. So we should offer whole. So if you are a millionaire, you're offering a patta, not that Krishna needs your, palak paneer, but it's nice when you love someone, you offer best to that person. A mother loving a child, will she eat palak paneer and give a mishri ka tukda to her baby? Will she do that? She might do other way, especially Indian mothers. They will give their whole plate to the baby. Even if they are hungry, they'll say, no, beta, I'm all right. I'm all right. So when you love someone, you want to serve automatically. So when you love Krishna, you want to automatically give the best to Krishna, not the worst or the smallest. So it's very logical. But when the love doesn't exist, then we go to the 927. You remember? And there are two words missing there, Bhakti and Ashnami. Priya Mataji, before we go to 927.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, I just came across, it says that Krishna does not accept, meat, fish, and eggs.
Hare Krishna.
Hello? Hare Krishna.
Sorry, can you start again? The screen was frozen for a while.
Oh, okay. Can you hear me, Prabhu?
Yes, yes, Mataji, we can hear.
So in the purport here, it says that Krishna does not accept meat, fish, and eggs. But he does accept those other things that we've mentioned in the shloka as well, patram pushpam phalam toyam. So why it doesn't mention about onion garlic, that he doesn't accept that? So,
Okay. So we are asking a question here, why Krishna does not mention about onion and garlic. Is that right, Mataji?
yes.
Yeah. So basically, Krishna has given categories here, not the details here. Bhagavad Gita is a book of principles. It does not give details. Now, Krishna in Bhagavad Gita, for example, never used the word worship Tulsi Devi, right? For example, go to Mathurava. So that details are explained in Nectar of Devotion.
Oh,
So in Nectar of Devotion, we'll read probably next year or something, that the details are given. Now, Nectar of Devotion also cannot give all the details. That's why we have Puranas. It gives the crux, obviously, what we should do, what we should not do, but the details. So details are unlimited. So every single detail is not given in Bhagavad Gita for all the obvious reasons.
okay. So basically, one has to probably wait, like if for someone who hasn't, later on we have to, once we finish reading Bhagavad Gita, then we'll understand more in detail why Krishna.
Yes, and then we'll read NOI for some reason, for NOD for some reason. That's why it gives a holistic picture. But every knowledge obviously is not given, and that's why we have different Shastras, different Puranas. And that's why we need Guru who can explain us what is important in that, and then sort of apply in our life and then move on.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Okay, 927. Who wants to do 927?
Prabhu, I'll do it.
Yes, Mataji, please.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So you explained last time that if Ashnami devotion is not present, then what can we offer? How do we offer Krishna? And this verse tells us how to offer to Krishna. Whatever
if
you
Bhakti
do,
is not there.
if bhakti is not there.
Yes.
So whatever you do, whatever you eat, whatever you offer or give away, and whatever austerities you perform, do that, O son of Kunti, as an offering to me. So Krishna is generally or saying generically over here that whatever one does, they can offer it to him. So yat karoshi, yat ashnashi, whatever we do, whatever we eat, whatever we can give away, juhosi, dadasi, whatever we are offering, yet tapasyasi, and whatever austerities we do, tat kurusva madarpanam, you offer that to me, Krishna. And the important thing is Krishna is not using the word bhakti here. So Krishna is saying that Krishna is just saying that whatever, even if you don't have any bhakti, you just offer whatever, every activity of yours to me, and I will accept it. And last time you said that there's a difference between us offering, a person offering without bhakti, and a person offering with bhakti. So the difference is in the devotion, and Krishna reciprocates according to our level of devotion, as is said in 4:11. So the one story that came to my mind was that of Raghunandan, young Raghunandan, who just sat, whose father, before going out, he said, okay, Raghunandan, offer laddus to Krishna. And Raghunandan literally took that to mean that Krishna is going to eat it. And he just sat there, oh, Krishna, please eat this. Krishna, please eat this. Krishna wouldn't eat it. And then he got so frustrated and so upset. Why is Krishna not eating? So he again kept on pleading. And finally, Krishna saw the devotion in the little child, and he came and he ate all the laddus. So when Raghunandan's father came back home, he said, where are the laddus? And Raghunandan said, Krishna has eaten them. The father was really astonished. How can that be? He was just taken aback and would not believe. So next time when Raghunandan offered again, the father hid behind the curtains to see. So and he saw actually Krishna appear and have the laddu. So this just shows that the devotion was there in the child, and therefore Krishna actually accepted. But for us, we really don't have that devotion. We offer it, but that faith is not there that Krishna is going to accept.
Thank you, Mother. Very nice example. Is in Chaitanya Charitamrita. I just want to add one more thing in that example. Actually, two things I can remember. Anyway, so when the story finished, Raghunandan and his father, who was a doctor, he went to emergency to attend some patient or somewhere. So they went to meet Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked this question to Raghunandan and his father. So who is the father and who is the son? So father said to the son, he is my father, I am the son. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, you are right. That little 5-year Raghunandan was told by the father, he is my father, because he was big in devotion. The father obviously was doing different things, no doubt about it, like we also do. And last time we were sort of discussing, this is our starting point. So we don't have any devotion, or maybe very little at this stage. By Prabhupada mercy, we have some, obviously, but we are not so devotees as yet. So 927 is our starting point. But the point is what Prabhupada said, you must offer. Do not accept anything. I remember one devotee telling me, he knows one Mataji, she even get when the yellow book, that yellow pages, which we used to get earlier, she will take that and offer that to the Lord as well before opening the book. Huh? I was like, wow. Everything means everything. Nothing is excluded. Huh? Everything you offer to the Lord, whether it's a small thing, big thing, it's a big car or a small tissue box, she will offer everything to the Lord. Very nice, very nice. Huh? She's following the principles, and that's how we can also follow and become better Krishna conscious. Okay, thank you, Mataji. And the 928, who will tell the context first and the verse later? Satyabhama Mataji, you want to go?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare
Yes,
Krishna.
28, Prabhu.
Yes.
In this way, you will be freed from bondage to work and its auspicious and inauspicious results. With your mind fixed on me in this principle of renunciation, you will be liberated and come to me. So in this verse, Prabhuji, Krishna is clearly telling that when our mind is fixed on Krishna, then we would be liberated and we will go back to Krishna. And I can just read my notes, just 1 minute. So it was said that if you don't have bhakti in you, what is the result that we could offer it to you? And this is the answer to that question. So if we are following the principle of offering, Shubha or Ashubha Phala, we come out of them and you get out of karma, bandhana, and Shubha and Ashubha. I'm just reading my notes, Prabhu.
That's okay. So basically the connection between 27 and 28 is, if you keep offering even without bhakti, eventually what will happen, you'll come out of karma bandhan. Because everyone has some positive in their account, some negative in their account. We all have it. So even if you just follow the principle as a matter of principle that I have to do this, my guru has told me I need to offer everything. And obviously, as Prabhupada said, and someone else was mentioning, we cannot offer unofferable things to Krishna. So if we offer those things, even without bhakti, as a duty to start with, Krishna is saying there's a great result of that. So do not just underestimate. What is this? I'm putting this plate in front of Krishna. Plate comes back like that. No. And Prabhupada also explained, Krishna can eat from his any organs. Krishna can eat by his eyes. Krishna can eat by his ears. Jagannath, just by looking at the plate, can accept all your plate. But why the 4 chapatis offered come back as 4? Jagannath eats 4 and puts the 4 back. And someone was saying this in humor, if Jagannath eats all, then you may not probably offer him back. But obviously it's for non-devotees. Devotee will be so happy. Jagannath has eaten my 4 chapatis. Yay, Jagannath, please take more. Please take more. I remember one practical incident. In India, I used to offer as well in a family, but we have a small katori, a small bowl, and we'll offer in a small sabji, small rice, or everything in one plate, small. Bhagwan ka plate, it's a Krishna's plate, chota, alpam. What do you call Vijay Gopi Mata? Kunjam, alpam. Kunjam, okay, whatever. So we'll offer little. When I came to ISKCON first, and their plate was like a Govardhan Parvat of rice, Govardhan Parvat of sabji, I'm like, and they asked me to offer in the kitchen, some beginning days I'm talking. And I'm like, is this plate not too big? He said, no, Jagannath can have it. And why not? We should offer Jagannath. I was so impressed to see that plate. I was so impressed. I'm like, wow, this makes sense. He said, Jagannath wants to eat rice. Means why not? And he literally, in the kitchen I'm talking, not in the altar, in the kitchen bag, we helped in the cooking or something. When I saw the plate, I was very happy and just convinced in one line, this is the best way of offering. Yeah, you must offer a lot. When your guests come, you become happy when he takes more chapatis or more parathas. Prabhuji, please. And when Prabhuji or Mataji has said, you feel happy in your heart. Huh? Now, if you offer him kunjam, a bite of roti, a bite of sabji, and you look at the plate, he will look at you, look at the plate, he will look at you. You really love me? You are offering me this? So it's so nice. It's so nice when we offer a big plate, a very nice looking plate. Krishna loves it. So even if you do it as without bhakti, the result is Shubha, Ashubha, Falair, Moksha se. Whatever karma bandhan you have, you will get rid of it. At least you come to zero, isn't it? Not positive, but at least zero. That's great. And then what will happen, Mataji? Please. Next two lines. This is the first line, first benefit, an immediate benefit. What's the long-term benefit?
So you'll be liberated, Mukta, Prabhuji will be liberated, and Mam to me, Upasyasi, you will attain. So we will attain Krishna, and if the mind is set, Yukta Atma. So if the mind is set, Vimukta, liberated, and Mam to me, Upasyasi, you will attain.
Thank you, Mataji. So basically what the journey, if you see 927 is the beginning of the journey, 928 first two lines are the middle of the journey. You're getting rid of karma. And as you're getting rid of karma, your mind is getting purified. You start getting love for Krishna. And then you reach to actually 926. Yeah, because you're offering with bhakti, and eventually 928 last line, Vimukta Mam Pasyasi, you'll come back to me. The beautiful journey. So we should start the journey not thinking too much about, oh, I'm not a devotee, I'm a fallen devotee, I only chant 4 rounds, or whatever disqualifications are. That doesn't matter. Put them aside. Obviously, we should try to become better. But the Bhagavad Gita is saying is, if we follow it as it is, with faith, the result will come. Ghum phir ke udhar aa jayenge. No matter where you go, you'll come back to Krishna. Krishna is so kind, and you can start from little. And what example we discussed last time in the last class? You start from Vaman Dev, little Vaman Dev, Chota Vaman Dev. Just give me, a photos place. Radha Gopinath. Someone we go to the Damodar program, they'll give you Radha Gopinath photo. They'll keep a photo somewhere. And then you go another program, they'll give you a CD. Then you go another program, they will give you a DT. Kahan rakhe abhi? Where is the place in my house? You put in the table. The table converts into, with a nice table cover, and then another Jagannath ji photo will come, Lord Nitai photo will come. Dhire. Slowly Krishna will expand in all your house. And they say, it used to be my house, it's become Krishna's house. Where do I sleep? Nowhere for us. Every bedroom, every master room, every kitchen, lounge room, garage, everything is Krishna's. This is Vaman Dev. And you will say, okay, Baba, put your leg on me, and I'm happy with that. So no matter you are rich like Bali Maharaj, owner of the 3 worlds, Krishna will not leave a space for you. Don't worry, your houses are too small. Sorry, you may have 5-bedroom, 6-bedroom house. Too small for Krishna. He comes like a Vaman Dev and expands like this. 3 Vikram. So Vaman Dev expanded 3 Vikram. And that's what we want actually. We love that. And that's called surrender stage. Balidan. Okay. 928 is done. Thank you. Now we move to 929. This is one of the most famous verses. The whole 9th chapter is filled with, one is ruby, one is this jewel and that jewel. You look at the verses like so good. Okay, who will do 929? Who was not there last week? Okay, who was not there last week? That's the condition. Okay, Jambi Mataji, please.
Samoham sarvabhuteshu.
Samoham sarvabhuteshu.
Na me dvaisho asti na priyaha.
Na me dvaisho asti na priyaha.
Ye bhajanti tu mam bhaktya.
Ye bhajanti tu mam bhaktya.
Mai te teshu chapyaham.
Mai te teshu chapyaham.
I envy no one, nor am I partial to anyone. I am equal to all, but whoever renders service unto me in devotion is a friend, is in me, and I am also a friend to him.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
So 926 is sort of opening the heart of Krishna. Is saying, "Kuch bhi offer karo, anything you offer me with bhakti, I will accept." Right? Because my loving bond is greater than what you offer in a plate. So that is a part of Krishna's heart. Now 929 again he is revealing his heart. So now there are two sort of hierarchy in the verse. So we'll read the first one and then the second one. Samo aham sarva bhuteshu. Anyone can translate that? It's the simplest line in the whole world. Sama is equal. Aham is me. Sarva means all. Bhuteshu means jivas. So I am sama to all the jivas, and all the jivas includes only humans. He's some to actually everyone. Radha Govinda Maharaj tells in 1.2, second chapter in first canto Srimad Bhagavatam, verse number I forgot, and there's a verse which sort of explains Krishna not only comes to the human society, it also goes to the animal society. Like we have Matsya avatar, we have Varaha avatar. So we should not think Krishna only takes, incarnation in the human species. No, he goes to other species as well, and he propagates his knowledge. So that shows he's sama aham sarva bhuteshu. He's completely equal. Name dveshasi. Dvesh means envy or hatred. Name, I do not do hatred or envy to anyone. Now, do we do? We do. So Krishna has to sort of come down to our level and say, you do dvesha, you do priya. That sometimes we say, he's my friend and he's my enemy. I go along good with them, not so good with this other person. But Krishna is saying, sama aham, I am equal, completely equal. So basically what Krishna is saying this line, no, I don't hate anyone. I don't specifically, love someone. I'm equal. Now, what does it represent, these two lines? Any examples which you have heard earlier in this chapter? What does these two lines represents? Which manifestation of Krishna and an example? We have discussed it. I'm some. He's like a judge. When a criminal or a person comes in front of the judge does not hate him. At least in ideal society, in current society may be different. The judge may treat differently, but the ideal judge is, he does not hate that person, he does not love that person. Based on the records, he rewards that person or punishes that person. So this aspect is like a super soul aspect, Paramatma aspect of Krishna, where Krishna is saying, I'm sama. Is that right? We have discussed it earlier as well. He's like a bird who's watching the other bird who's eating the fruits. This word is just watching. So he watches. If we do good activities, we get good reactions. If we do bad activity, we get bad reactions. So that's fine. So Krishna is saying, I am completely impartial. I'm completely impartial. I'm sama to every single jiva. So I don't have any partiality. I treat everyone like a judge. Whatever they do, they get the. That's done. Now, but the second line is very, very important. Ye bhajanti. Bhajanti means worship me. Tu mam bhaktya. Again, the word bhakti is used. Bhakti upaharatam. 926. But ye bhajanti, jo mera bhajan karte hain, one who worships me with bhakti. So we have to remember bhajan. Now, we might be at this stage right now. We are doing bhajan. Maybe not so much with bhakti. Okay, some bhakti definitely is there. So, maite teshu, I am in them. That's the greatest, and they are in me. So Krishna is saying, if someone does worship of me, bhajan of me, with devotion, I like that person so much that actually he resides in me. He resides in me. That's a great sin. Who resides in our heart? Only the people whom we love, isn't it? We love our family and also some things. We love money. Money resides in our heart. Or we have some anxiety, or we have some enmity towards someone. Some important things resides, some important people resides in our heart. So Krishna is saying, obviously, bhakti means favorable. So they are favorably worshipping me. And when they worship me with this love, they actually reside in me and I reside in them. So now this seems like a contradictory statement. The first line, Krishna is saying, I'm completely impartial. In the second line, he's saying, I'm partial towards some. Who are they? They are my devotees. Now, how do we sort of reconcile these two statements? Any ideas? So one who worships me, I reside in them, they reside in me. For everyone else, I'm completely impartial. Any ideas from anyone? Krishna should be a neutral God. Why he's becoming this sort of God? So Prabhupada answers that if Krishna is not treating someone differently, then Krishna is not a personal God. He will become an impersonal God. Who will have feelings? A person will have feeling, right? When you love someone and he also tries to reciprocate with you with his feelings. Without feeling, can it be a person? Suppose you are worshipping a stone, say a wall, a stone wall. Whole life, will a stone come back and give some reciprocation to you? Yeah, if you hit the stone with your head, you will reciprocate in a bleeding way. But that's a stone. But Krishna is not a stone. Krishna is not a light. Light also does not reciprocate. You can worship the light. Light does not reciprocate. Who reciprocate? Krishna reciprocates. Why? Because he is a person, and a person means he has some liking and he has some disliking. Not like a normal person. We also have liking and disliking, but in an absolute way, he also have liking or disliking. Now, what are his liking? Ye bhajanti tu mam bhaktya, who worships me, who worships me vidhi purvaka, which we have discussed in few earlier verses. I like them so much. Now, what is the example of that? Let's take the example of Pandavas. There are other examples as well. When Pandavas worship Krishna with their heart and soul, did Krishna reciprocate with them impartially? Oh, I will treat Duryodhana and Pandavas equally. Did that happen? Now, Krishna gave options to Duryodhana as well as to Arjun, to Pandavas, right? But what did Pandavas choose? He said Narayan or Narayani Sena. Narayan le lo ya Narayani Sena le lo. Take one of them. And Arjun was given the first choice. What did he choose? Narayani Sena? And what does Narayani Sena represent? The opulence of Krishna. He chose Krishna. And he says, Krishna, if you are with me, even all the demigods, this is the statement he makes after Duryodhana left. He said, Krishna, if you are with me, even all the demigods can come to fight with me, all of them together. I can deal with them. I have no problem. But I just want you to be with me. Second statement he makes in Mahabharata, Krishna, I'm not looking for success in this battle. I just want you to drive my chariot. He said, you will not lift a weapon. And Krishna said, I'm an only person and I'm without weapon. But Arjun said, that doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. Keshav, I just want you to be on my side, and all you can do, just drive my chariot. That way you're not lifting anything, because I really wanted to give the reins of my life in your hands. So that is also a metaphor for us. We should give our life to Krishna, and then Krishna will guide us in such a way that it will lead to ultimate victory. Many times we complain, no, God is not guiding us. Because we are not giving him the chariot rein. We are still holding the wheel in our hand and saying, Krishna, 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 where to? Krishna says left, and we go right. Because I like right. But Arjun completely gave up the reins of his life to Krishna. Now, Sridhar Swami is a big commentator on Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam. In this verse commentary writes that Krishna is like a desire tree. Whatever you desire from Krishna, he will sort of give it to you. And that makes sense. Krishna is all-powerful God. He can give you anything you desire. So that's the first explanation. And then Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says, yes, Krishna is a desire tree, but if you go under a desire tree and ask for wish, will he give wish? Yes or no? Yeah, because desire tree is supposed to give whatever you desire. So if you ask for poison, it's supposed to give you poison, but Krishna does that. Suppose your child come with a good demand, and mother and father will give, okay, beta, it's all right. But the child comes with a bad demand. Papa, cigarette de do. Papa, give me cigarette. Papa will definitely give, but not cigarette, something else. We all know that. Why? Because father loves the child. If the same child goes to a shopkeeper, give a $20, will the shopkeeper give him a cigarette packet? Yes or no? People seem to be confused. Yes, he worries about the child or the money. Money. As soon as he gets $20 or whatever it costs, he said, yeah, take it, go for it, come back for the second one. And when he goes to the father, father, give me a cigarette, and father, instead of a packet of cigarette, he just gives something else, and never come back with this demand. So is father a well-wisher of the child or shopkeeper? Shopkeeper fulfilled the desire of the child. Father did not fulfill the desire of the child. So who is better? Go to the shopkeeper, right? Everyone's smiling. We like cigarette, why not? So if you like cigarette or any sense gratification, yes, shopkeeper is the place to go. But if you like love, ultimate benefit, what you call is Shreyas. Shreyas means long-term benefit. You go to your father, even if he slaps you, makes your life a little miserable for a while, but you get the lesson, and then you forget the desire of smoking cigarette or something like that. So Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says, Krishna is a desiratory, but he is also a relationship builder. Why he's a relationship builder? Because he looks at the relationship and he does the best for the person what he needs. That makes sense, like a father. So an example he gives, Vishnu Thakur gives the example of Pandavas. When Pandav loved Krishna, how Krishna reciprocated? He reciprocated Pandavas in such a way, even Krishna today is being blamed. He lifted Chakra, for example, he's getting blamed. He broke his own promise just to save the promise of his devotee Arjun. And also Bhishma Pitama. So he lifted a weapon just to save the life of Arjuna. When Arjun was shot by Karna with the Nag Bana, I forgot the name, Ashwashen Nag. So basically Karna used a wand which was never going to go in vain. It was Ashwashen Nag who came and sat in the arrow of Karna, and Karna was hitting to Arjun. And Shalya, that time, who was the chariot driver, he said, target the chest of Arjun. But Karna is like, I want to do a clean board. And he was overconfident. He targeted the neck of the Arjun. He wanted to cut the head of Arjun. Krishna, knowing this, he put the chabuk of the horses so hardly that actually horses kneed down. And the chariot came down, and the arrow could hit the crown of the Arjun, not the neck of Arjun, because the chariot went down because the horse kneed down. So now is Arjun was sort of planning all this and saying, Krishna, you know, the arrow is going to come and please save me. When Ashwatthama released 6 Brahmastra, it says Arjun and Pandavas, they didn't have even weapons, and when the arrow was coming, they started getting the weapons, but they did not know it's a Brahmastra. So how would they counterpart it? They could not. So Krishna sort of counterfeited all the 6 Brahmastra. So Krishna is not demanding the protection prayers from the devotee. He just automatically protects like a mother and father. So whenever there is a trouble, Krishna protects. Now, do you think shopkeeper will do that? Only a father or a loving person can do that. So Krishna loves the Pandavas or the other devotees like a mother loves his own child. It says, Krishna says that if you have to sort of hurt my devotee, I will act like an eyelid. If someone wants to hurt your eye, what he has to do? Go through first with your eyelid, isn't it? The eyelid would automatically close. I was putting a tilak on a boy this today, and as soon as I put my finger, the boy's eyes were like closed like anything. I said, relax, relax. I'm just putting a tilak. So the eyes will automatically get closed, even if you're not trying to hurt the eyes. If you're trying to hurt the eyes, will the eyelid leave the association? Okay, Baba, tum apna dekho, main to chala. Eyelids would not leave the eyes. You have to poke through the eyelids to go to the eye. So Krishna protects his devotees like those eyelids, and he protects his devotee like those eyes. So when Krishna loves, he will never, never, never leave you. Now, other demigods, the example given in Ramayana, Ravan was a devotee of Shiva. When Ravan was in trouble last day, long story short, he was saying, Shiva, Shiva, please come and help, please come and help. Parvati Mata is saying, oh, Lord Shiva, are you not listening to the prayers of Ravan? He's inviting you, he's in trouble. And Lord Shiva said to Parvati, don't worry about him. Today, his last day has come, and because he's fighting with my master, I don't want to save him. And even if I want to, I cannot save him because he's fighting with my master. And Ram finally killed him. So demigods does not help. Kansa was a devotee of Durgaji. Durgaji did not help Kansa. Rather, she made, oh, fool Kansa, you're killing innocent child, and the person who's going to kill you has already taken birth. So you see in many cases, demigods only help to an extent because they can't do more than that, especially when you fight against their master, who is Krishna. So Vishwanath Chakravarti says, Krishna is a relationship builder more than the desired tree. So when you desire something inauspicious, Krishna holds those things back. And that is the beauty of you going to Krishna or you going to demigods. So this verse is a very beautiful verse. So Krishna is definitely partial, or the first line says he's impartial. He's definitely partial, but he is impartially partial. And Chaitanya Prabhu explains this line very nicely. How is impartially partial? He gives opportunity to everyone to become a devotee. Does he bar anyone? The people in Australia cannot do my devotion. People in America can do, because America is the #1 country. People in Russia can do, Ukraine cannot do bhakti. Is it like that? Okay, humans can do bhakti, birds cannot do bhakti. Garuda is doing bhakti. Okay, humans can do and fishes cannot do. Matsya is there. You can name any. Monkeys cannot do bhakti. Bears cannot do bhakti. Even a spider, little ant can do bhakti. And Krishna gladly accepts the bhakti of Hanumanji as well as the little spider. So Krishna gives the opportunity for anyone and everyone to become a devotee. But once you become devotee, Krishna takes charge of your life and he will protect you in every situation. Even you cannot imagine that sort of protection. Krishna will protect you. Okay, I'll stop here. Vijay Gopi Mataji or Rasanand Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Just a deviation from this verse. Actually, someone asked me a question, Prabhu. You know how Krishna has taken so many incarnations only in India, mostly in India, I could say.
Yeah.
And then she asked, why is he partial with, the incarnations happening only in India? And I was explaining that, how there is embassy, the prime minister or someone go and visit the embassy. Similarly, India, Bharat Bhumi is the embassy for, Golok Vrindavan, something like that. Then again, she asked me like, Paritraya Shaduna Vinashaya, Dharma Samsthabana. He is coming again and again. That means there is more adharma in India. That's why he's coming again and again as an incarnation. So in this way, how do we say that like Krishna is not partial to other part of the world, is partially only to?
Okay, very nice question. I'll respond in a summary. It's a very nice question and can be expanded. I'll also remind maybe Sundar Prabhuji, Amog Lila Prabhu has sent a video. I think I've shared in VSS. Some VSS devotees can share that video back in this group. So Lord, how Amog Lila Prabhu is explaining, I think it's 30 minutes video, how Lord Ram glory is expanded in different parts of the world. And he has named the country, Iraq, Iran, even Pakistan, Burma, Thailand. Please watch that video. It's a short video that will give you information and you can pass this video to that lady or gentleman, whoever it is. Now, second thing, why in India is more dharma? No, India is not more dharma, but India was the center of attraction. Like when, sorry to give this wrong example, when Russia attacked Ukraine, what was the target of Russia? The main target? The capital, isn't it? What's the capital of Ukraine? I forgot already. I read it last year.
Kiev.
Eve. Huh?
Kiev.
So what's the main target? Why is the main target? That's the most important city in that country, isn't it? So you have to target the main thing. But when you possess that, then all the land is yours. So similarly, India was that sort of land of the center. Kings will rule the entire world sitting in India. So it was not India as more a dharmic or something, but India was so attractive. Why British came to India? To loot. They did not come to do social service. Why Muslims came to India? To loot. India was such an important place. India is called the golden bird, Sone ki chidiya. And even if you go to London today, you can go to the museum and have a look what all things they have stolen from India. So why did they come to India? India was so popular, so opulent, and so rich. People were rich and everything was so nice. So one answer is that. Another answer, which Radha Govind Maharaj gives, India is the only land. Okay, before I go to that, suppose Prime Minister have to come in your house, for example. So your house will be made little suitable for the Prime Minister, isn't it? If your house is not suitable, will Prime Minister come in your house? No, because he's Prime Minister. He's a big person. He just cannot come in a chal. Anyone knows chal? Bombay wala? Chal. Chal means how to translate chal. Very
row of houses, small houses, tiny houses,
slums.
row or small slums.
You understand slum, Vijay Gopi Mataji, probably. Very small, where poor people live. Will Prime Minister walk in those slums anytime? Chalega. Just walk in. No. If he is coming, there's lots of arrangements has to be made. A lot of arrangement, like millions of dollars will be spent, and then the place will be made suitable and sanitized, and every single person, 20 lifetime history will be brought out because Prime Minister is coming. Now, if the place is not suitable, they will say, forget it, Prime Minister is not coming. So India is the only suitable place where Krishna can land. Because everywhere else is so adharmic, cannot handle Krishna. So it's not, India has more adharma, actually other places have more adharma. Krishna comes there and he deals the whole world sitting there. Like Jarasandha attacked Mathura 17 times. Krishna didn't have to go anywhere. He said, Bhaiya, it's so nice, He's bringing all the asuras, we are sitting, and only 2 people will come out every time. Not even one soldier of Dwarka was injured in the whole 17 times. Only 2 people will come out, they will take their breakfast, and then they go back home. Nice, come back again. Jarasandha will go arrange all the asuras and bring them back again. Why? It is such an important place. So no one attacks on an unimportant place. Is it okay, Mataji? Yeah.
Yes, Prabhu. Thank you so much, Prabhu.
Okay. Priya
Yes.
Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Prabhu, I wanted to ask actually, you mentioned about the Duryodhan when he left, Arjun was mentioning to Krishna about the demigods, but my internet was unstable. So could you just repeat that again, what you mentioned?
Basically, when Duryodhan left, Krishna, just to retest Arjun, he said, Yudhishthira have sent you to pick up my armies, and then you have picked me, and I'm an unarmed person. What will I do? Are you okay? Are you mentally okay? So Krishna was sort of sarcastically saying to Arjun, Tum theek hai? Are you okay? So then Arjun sort of responded, Hey Keshav, he used the word Keshav. So he said, Hey Keshav, if you are with me, even all the demigods can come together and attack me. I can deal all of them in no time because you are with me. And he said, regarding your weapon, he said, I don't need your weapons. I don't need, I just want you. And I had a great desire that you will drive my chariot at least. You can become my chariot driver. That doesn't mean you have to lift a weapon. Will you do that? And Krishna says, yes, all right. And his internal desire was that Krishna should take care. And he said, wherever you take me, I'll go. So although Arjun was fighting, but the director was Krishna. Like hero will only do what a director tells the hero. So although you will praise, say Amitabh Bachchan or someone like that, but actually director is directing him. For all the story writing, for all the actions, Amitabh Bachchan, jumps from here to there. The villain is picking the girl and Amitabh is fighting, and whatever is happening, actually director is directing the whole thing. Hero is just following the order. So Arjun became the hero of the war, but who was director? Krishna was the director. Okay. I think Mataji's screen is frozen or she's absorbed. I'm not sure. Okay, we'll go to the next Mahasa Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, just out of the context, but why is that every time that, okay, we know the meaning of the word Keshav, right? But why is that Keshav been used so many times? What is the relevance of that word? Yes, we know he's killed the Keshav demon. But if you listen most of the time, how that word as a Keshav makes any relevance the way with the prayers are? There should be some other meaning to Keshav. That's what I mean to ask. So can you please answer?
We have discussed that in chapter 1. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur gives a very sweet meaning of Keshav. He says, Sha means Shiva and Ka means Brahma. And Va means he gives, I can't remember the exact word, Prabhu. But anyway, I think Va is the one which is related to some sort of jaggery or something, some good. So one who gives pleasure, sweetness to even Brahma and Shiva, he's called Keshav. Keshav has another meaning whose kesh is very attractive. Keshav, another meaning is one who decorates the kesh so nicely, because he decorates the kesh of Radharani, he is known as Keshav. So Keshav has actually multiple meanings. And he gives joy even to Brahma and Shiva. That's Lord Keshav. So based on the context, you can take the meaning. Keshav is also used in Radharani's and Krishna's interaction. That means Kesh. And there's a demon Keshi and all that thing. Multiple meanings of Keshavs are there. Okay, so let's move forward. Beautiful verse 930. That's another very debatable verse. Devya Mataji.
Yes, Prabhu. Api chetsu duracharo.
Api chetsu duracharo.
Bhajate mam ananya bhak.
Bhajate mam ananya bhak.
Sadhur eva samantavya.
Sadhur eva samantavya.
Samyak vyavasvito hisa.
Samyak vyavasvito hisa.
Translation. Even if one commits the most abominable action, if he is engaged in devotional service, he is to be considered saintly because he is properly situated in his determination. Thank you, Prabhuji.
So now 929 Krishna says, I am definitely partial to my devotees. Now Arjun may ask this question, but what happens if devotee commits some abominable act? Now we know this word achar. Achar means good behavior. So durachar means bad behavior, and sudurachar. Su is a prefix sort of emphasizing. Sudurachar means very bad behavior. So Krishna says, even if my devotee, api refers to my devotee does not misbehave at all. So api here refers to api, but even if he does it, just in case. So this is called accidental faults. Or incidental faults. We'll talk about two types of faults in the next verse. So this verse represents incidental faults. So my devotees are very nice, they are sadhus, but just in case, apichet, sudurachar, they do something abominable, and Krishna is saying very abominable. Prabhupada writes here, the most abominable action, even if one commits the most abominable action. Second line, bhajate mam, but they are worshipping me. And how they are worshipping? Ananya bhag. What does ananya word mean? Anyone remembers from the previous discussions? Exclusive to me. Now Vishwanath Chakravarti gives a meaning here. He says ananya bhag means even if he performs the most abominable action, which is not recommended, obviously, and with those actions, we should not consider him as sadhu. But even in that situation, this devotee does not leave his devotional service to Krishna. He does not go to another demigod. Oh, because I was a devotee of Krishna, and Krishna is not so strong, or Krishna's name is not so strong, Krishna's devotional service is not so strong, I fell down. Look at me, I fell down. Let's go to Durgaji. Let's go to Ganeshi. Even if he performs the most abominable action, bhajate mam, he is still worshipping me constantly as the exclusive Lord. So his faith in Krishna is not deterring at all. Although he has broken some rules, he is not up to the standard. Agree with that. His faith is not broken in Krishna, and that's known as Ananya Bhag. Ananya Bhag, another meaning, Sridhar Swami explains. He says Ananya Bhag means his faith in Krishna is there, definitely is there. So he gives basically two meanings here. He gives a liberal meaning, or he gives a conservative meaning. Liberal meaning means chalega. Some mata pita, some parents, some kids does something not so nice, and they say, all right. Conservative parents, what do? Chalo ghar mein. Let's go to the house and we'll tell you what's the correct action. We have heard these words, at least from our parents. We can't say these words, but we have heard these from our parents, because our parents were very strict many times for our good. They were very strict, which was nice. So Sridhar Swami sort of gives a conservative definition, and he says this verse should not be taken as a verse that my father will not say anything, so let me do anything. You understand? My father is so liberal. So the conservative meaning is we should be very strict in our devotion. But even accidentally, incidentally, if something happens, Krishna is such loving God, he will still treat you as a devotee, because it has happened accidentally. No one wants accident, but accidents do happen. So we understand both parts, and Vishwanath Chakravarti says, our Krishna's devotion for that devotee will never diminish. He will still continue worshipping Krishna. So the two meanings, one is from devotee side, one is from Krishna's side. Krishna's side is, even if my devotee commits most abominable action, I still love him. And from devotee side, even if I have committed a mistake, which I should not have done, I will still continue worshipping Krishna with the same enthusiasm which I was doing earlier. Make sense? Two sides here. So Sridhar Swami and Vishwanath Chakravarti. So let's read the next line here. Sadhur eva samantapya. So Krishna is saying this statement, even if he performed the most abominable action, you should consider him as sadhu. That's a big statement, right? Sadhus don't perform abominable action. And if a person performs abominable action, will you call him a sadhu? He's a sadhu. He's not a sadhu. But Krishna is such a loving father. If mistake happens accidentally due to your own conditioning in the past, Krishna says, that's all right. That's all right. But we should not, obviously, Bhakti Rasamrita Maharaj explains, we should not take this verse that is such a nice excuse. Because I'm a devotee, as a person may think, I'm a devotee, my father is so liberal, let me do anything. Do you think Krishna is a stupid God? No, so this verse should not be taken from that sense. We should be taken, even if I commit accidentally something, Krishna is very loving. He's not going to, Are, why did you do this? 90 years you performed devotion, and this moment you did not perform very well. So get out. Not like that. Krishna will look at your history. Krishna will look at your future as well. Or you made a mistake, but you're still worshipping Krishna with exclusive devotion to Krishna as a supreme personality of Godhead. And Krishna is saying, Sadhur ev mantavya. And why I'm considering him as sadhu? The fourth line is very nice. Samyak vyavasito hi saha, because he is situated in his determination. What is his determination? My sola mala should not stop. My devotional service to Krishna should not stop. Radhanath Maharaj gives a nice line. I don't remember the exact words, but he says, the person's advancement will be tested in the unfavorable time. In favorable time, everyone is a devotee. We put tilak and dhoti, kurta, sari, and everyone, Hare Krishna, very nice, how are you, and all that. When the unfavorable time comes, then your sincerity is tested. Are you still a devotee? Or you are not a devotee? Hare Krishna, I've been worshipping you for 20 years. I gave so much donation. You're doing this to me? I will not worship you. Look at this Shiva devotee. He's getting all the riches and you're taking everything away. I think one devotee was telling in a class very nicely. It's from Bhagavatam 10th canto. He's saying when Krishna likes you, he gives you the things. And when he loves you, सब कुछ ले लेते हैं ठाकुर जी. He takes everything away. Everything away. And if you become shivering position in that time, oh, Krishna, very dangerous God. Bhakti Purushottam Maharaj was telling Krishna is a very dangerous God. And that's why you see Durga Mandir, Shiva Mandir is all full. Krishna Mandir all empty. When you go to Durga Mandir, if you have $100, Durga ji may make, $200, $500. If you go to Krishna temple, you will have how many dollars? $0. So Maharaj was saying Krishna is a very dangerous God. That's why people actually are scared of worshipping Krishna. And it's true in one sense. In one sense, Krishna do test his devotees. He does not just give opulence, opulence, opulence. He tests the devotees. And if devotee passes the test, then Dhruv Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, Ambarish Maharaj, Yudhishthir Maharaj, you name it. Emperor, what to speak of little million, 2 million. What is million, 2 million? But he does test you. He does test you. And if you pass that test or multiple tests, then everything is clear. Dhruva only worship for 6 months and then Dhruva Loka. Can anyone produce that much money even in dreams? Even in dreams. Prabhupada went to America with 40 rupees and he created $40 billion wealth around the world without using 1 rupee. That's Krishna's devotee. That's Krishna's devotee. So much opulence Krishna can give. But the problem is we cannot handle. We are like small kids. We will damage our bhakti. Krishna said, no, you go slow. You go slow. Tumko nahi denge jyada. Because you'll become mad. Jan Aishwarya Shutashri Vir Ed Mana Madapuman. It will make us mad. So I'll just repeat the verse and then I'll take the question. So Apiche Sudurachara, even if my devotee, he does not commit any abominable action, he's like a sadhu, but even if he accidentally commits something which is Sudurachar, most abominable, but on the other side, what he's doing, he's still worshipping me with ahetuki apratihata. So it is called apratihata. Apratihata means non-broken devotion. He's still determinedly situated in his devotional service. Sadhu Rev Samandeva. I consider him as Sadhu Eva. Now, Eva word is important here. Sadhu ke jaisa. He's not saying Sadhu. So there is a little difference here. Sadhu Eva. Sadhu ke jaisa. As if he is Sadhu. As if he is Sadhu. Why? He will expand in the next 931. Because he is situated in his determination very well. Okay. So we should not take this verse in any sense that it gives us a free license to do anything. And then you say, Krishna, I'm still chanting you around. No, not like that. But accidental mistakes, Krishna will not consider too much about it. He does not make too much fuss about it. And he says, just carry on. And in 931, we'll read how the person will become sadhu. Tanya Mataji.
Prabhuji, it's actually, it might be a bit of a rhetorical question because you just said we shouldn't take this verse lightly or we can't misuse it just because the verse exists. But isn't the whole concept of what's an accidental mistake a very relative concept? You can, in your perception, like how we hear, so I'm not getting into any specific story, but we hear so many fall downs, even in ISKCON. and then you can always defend it saying it's accidental, non-accidental. And then
Absolutely.
how do we understand that what is okay or what is not okay? Like, how do we know that?
Yeah, very, very valid question. Because we can prove our actions in any way. And we say, yes, I was right. I was right. It was just a purely accident. Now, so the certificate, the short answer, certificate has to be given by your authorities. Simple as that. Your authorities will know you better than you as well. So you cannot sort of justify, and you should not. If you're a good devotee, you leave yourself in the hands of your guru or spiritual master or senior authorities, and they will lovingly say, oh, my daughter, my son has just made a mistake. It's all right. It's not such a big deal. Huh? And also, I think Bhakti Rasamant Maharaj was explaining in his class I heard 20 years ago, but I remember this point. A devotee, even if he does a smallest mistake, a devotee I'm talking, a smallest mistake, he actually considers himself as a biggest mistake person, isn't it? And we see Narottam Das Thakur Bhajan, Bhaktivinoda Thakur Bhajan, they're not making any mistake, but they say, I am the most abominable jiva in the whole creation. Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami saying in Chaitanya Charitamrita, I am so sinful, even if you take my name, all your punya will be destroyed. This is Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, the author of Chaitanya Charitamrita, disciple of Nityananda Prabhu. He is writing this book at the age of 96 on the order of Nityananda Prabhu. So what? So Maharaj said, a devotee is very authentic. He even if he does a small mistake, so he will not justify. He will not justify, and he will present himself for any sort of punishment as well. And the authority will say, actually, Prabhuji, it's all right. It's all right. So you or anyone like that would not be proving or justifying your mistakes. It's the authority who will take the decision. Rather, you will have a sort of guilt in your presentation that actually, you know, I made a mistake. I made a mistake. And that's your devotional characteristic. Otherwise, it's just a mundane person who's just justifying his action. And that is, as you said, is very relative. And we are not going into that direction at all. Krishna knows your heart. He says, Krishna knows not only your actions, he knows your every single desire as well. Huh? He's sitting in your heart. He actually knows you more than you. So if you're trying to cheat Krishna, you cannot cheat Krishna. Huh?
So this verse is more internal for your internal realization that you know, if you know you have committed something by mistake.
Actually, it's not from a devotee's side, it's from Krishna's side. Simple as that. So you carry on with your life as it is. Krishna will decide, or Krishna's representative is nothing to do with the devotee. He's not saying devotee will say, oh, Prabhu, I have accidentally made a mistake. No, devotee will say, Prabhu, I have always made a mistake. You please give me punishment. You read Bhaktivinoda Thakur Bhajan. What he's saying, I am a asura. I'm again and again he's saying, I'm a asura, I'm a papi, I'm a sinful person. He never said, actually, you know, in 1971, I made one mistake. Huh? But they have never made a mistake. They say, Prabhu, I've always made a mistake. And you are so kind, you're loving. That's devotee attitude. So this was actually coming from Krishna, not from, you're not asking, hey, Prabhu, did you make a mistake? Prabhu, actually, you know what, maybe not, you know, I was just sleepy. No, Prabhu, I didn't make a mistake. Actually, you know, you made a mistake. You're judging me. You're judging me. Prabhu, you aparad. That sort of arguments we are not discussing here. Krishna is making this a very endearing statement for his own child. It's okay. It's okay. But Krishna will decide that. And a devotee will always leave it to Krishna, not to his own interpretation and sort of demand Krishna. But Krishna, you're punishing me. I was purely, my intention wasn't there, you know. I was not criticizing the devotee, you know, I was just saying something. It was a fact, Krishna. So you're not arguing Krishna, you're not demanding Krishna. The demanding attitude, devotee doesn't have that attitude.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Mataji. Satyabhama Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Sundar Prabhuji.
Oh, it's not more a question. I just remembered a story, so I thought I'll share that. Well, you're talking about the partial, impartial, and Krishna giving or taking things away. So what I had was once, I mean, I'm not sure if it's a made-up story to explain or was it real, but once I think it was Narad Muni who approached Krishna saying, oh, you know, whosoever worships you, you take away everything from them, or and whosoever does not, you know, believe much in you, you still keep giving them things. So why is it that? So he said, okay, let me give you an example, you know, and he comes down on the earth and comes as a Brahmin, and goes to a businessman's house just to, beg alms from there. So he said, okay, give me something. He said, oh, don't disturb me, don't bother me, I'm busy, just go away from here. And then he says, okay, may you get more and more money, and you proceed more in life, progress more, get more money. And then he goes to a very poor person's house, and then he again asks for something. And then the poor lady there said, unfortunately, I don't have anything to give, but I have a cow here. I can give you milk from the cow. You can take that cow. You can take the milk, accept that milk. So, and he accepts it. And, on leaving, he says, okay, may the cow also die. So Narma is like, what are you doing? You're giving so much to the person who refused to give you anything. And the person who actually gave you something, you're taking everything away from that person. So he said, at the end of the life, when the person who's so much into money and everything, when he's at the end of his life, he still keep thinking about money, and all this material things. But at the end of the life of this poor person, this person will not even have a cow. So the only thing that that person will think will be me. So then, they can come back to me.
Yes. Very nice story. It's not a made-up story, it's a bona fide story. Okay. It says this old lady, this Buddha, she had nothing but the cow. So she was attached to the cow. She was a great devotee, but she's still attached to the cow because cow was giving the milk, which was the only thing left. But when the cow will go away, she'll become fully dependent on me and come back to me in this very lifetime. So in that sense, Krishna is helping by taking the cow away. We will become disturbed, but that's the fact of life. We are attached, and Krishna slowly, my Guru Maharaj was saying, sadhu's job is to cut, and sadhu cut the knots. And what are the knots? Knots of our attachment. And slowly, one by one, sadhu is cutting. And when it cuts, it hurts, isn't it? It hurts in our heart. Ek aur chala gaya. One more wicket down, one more wicket on. Krishna, what are you doing? Jagannath ji, do you remember me? It feels like that. Easy to say, but it feels like that. All the wickets are going our life. Everyone is leaving me. They are misunderstanding me. But look at that time. It's Krishna's special arrangement for you. And whoever can look at that, you'll say, thank you, Krishna. Thank you so much. Huh? And we'll have nothing else except to thank Krishna from the bottom of your heart. What I could not do, Krishna, you have done it. Thank you for taking that away. So if you can sort of see through the situation differently, that's it. There's nothing else, You're like, thank you, Krishna. Now I'm fully available for you, and you're fully available for me. And the love between devotee and Krishna will increase so much. But we hold on to our attachments and we're still trying to attain Krishna. And Guru Maharaj says, you're putting, I remember Vaikuntha Ashram, Maharaj was giving a class, and he stood up on this particular line, and he put one leg on one sofa, another leg in another sofa. They were Mata nodding the head. You remember Maharaj was standing, So we are putting our leg, one in the material world, a boat in the material world, a boat in the spiritual world. And we want to actually travel in both lines. We want to become a good devotee with a good material success. Maharaj said that doesn't work actually. That doesn't work. Initially, you can put a leg in the spiritual side, but slowly you have to increase the weight. Mataji, remember that? Maharaj stood on one leg then. So he lifted one leg. He said, slowly you have to let the things go in material world. So he lifted the leg of material world now, the boat, and then he's pressurizing the spiritual leg. And then you can travel very fast. If you're in two boats, can you travel fast? One leg in one boat, another leg in another boat. The whole video is coming to my mind of Maharaj. So nicely explained this point. So don't put two legs. Initially, obviously, we all putting two legs, but slowly we have to lift the material leg slowly, one by one, maturely, not prematurely. Lift the leg and put the weight on the spiritual side, Slowly let the material boat go away. And whatever is needed, have faith. Krishna will give that. Krishna will give whatever is needed for the devotee. He will provide. Even if the whole world goes against you, it doesn't really matter. It's very temporary sort of thing, stage. But Krishna's relation, Krishna's devotion, that's the only wealth we have. Okay. Thank you, Sundar Prabhu, for sharing that pastime. Priya Mataji. All sorted. Okay.
Yes, Prabhuji. I think Ajamal is he one person that he did something abominable? He was a pious man, but then and then he was still able to.
Yes. So Mataji, Bhakti Rasant Maharaj told a story of Alvar. I can't remember, to be honest. There are 12 Alvars, and Maharaj has given beautiful classes. There's one Alvar, which I have heard 20 years ago again. You can find on ISKCON Desire Tree. And Maharaj gives this example. He got in touch with some lady prostitute or something. He was a great devotee. He sort of fell down temporarily. He was put in prison, but then he repented so much, and then Lord gave him the full opulence of a devotee, obviously, not like a king or something. But so his respect was even more spread after he sort of fell down, so-called fell down. It was totally accidental. This devotee fell down. Yes, the example is given. I don't remember the name, but you can find out. Just go to ISKCON Desire Tree, Bhakti Rasant Maharaj lectures. He has given Hindi Alvar lectures. I think there are 12 lectures, one for each Alvar. So one Alvar Maharaj gives that example and quotes this shloka. You can, a male Alvar, not a female, Andal. It's a male Alvar. I can't remember the name. They're very tough names. They're South Indian names, so sometimes difficult. But yeah, it's there. Okay, let's move on to the next one. 931. Now 930 and 930, 132, they're all related. So we might go back and forth. Now he's saying Sadhu Rev Samantavyaha. Why do you consider that? Look at the 931. Why we should consider as Sadhu Eva. Eva is very important here. Krishna is not saying he's a Sadhu. Sadhu is a pure person. He's Sadhu Eva, as if he is Sadhu. Why? Read the 931. Who will read, who has not read as yet?
I'll read, Prabhu.
Okay. Okay, let Mohit Prabhu do. He came first.
Shipram bhavati dharmatma.
Shipram bhavati dharmatma.
Tattvak shantim nigacchati.
Shashvat shantim nigacchati.
Kaunteya pratijanati.
Kaunteya pratijanihi.
Janihi name bhakta pranashyati.
Name bhakta pranashyati.
Translation of Srila Prabhupada ki jai. He quickly become righteous and attain lasting peace. O son of Kunti, declare it boldly that my devotee never perishes.
Thank you, Prabhuji. So, Shipram means very fast. So, if he is situated, Bhajte Mam Ananibhav. So that line is very important. So you cannot say, okay, I do any abominable action and then, I just live like a punk. No, not like that. Accidentally, you made a mistake, but you're still following, all the best possible devotional practices. Then if you keep following it, what will happen? Shipram, very soon, Bhavati, he will become, what he will become? Dharmatma. So very soon he will become Dharmatma. Shashvat Shantim Nigachati, and he will attain the lasting peace. So why we are doing some abominable action? Because our mind is restless, isn't it? Because mind is restless, and because of the restlessness of our mind, we do some mistakes. All of us sort of experience that when mind is restless, we sometimes become lusty or angry or greedy or illusioned. We see things differently than what Shastra is telling. So our mind is restless, and just to achieve those mundane things, we may make some mistakes, which are not as per devotional standard. This happens to all of us. But if we keep following Krishna and the devotional practices as best as possible, in the guidance of devotees, what will happen? Shipram, very soon the person will become Dharmatma, very righteous person. And then the last line in this verse, very important. Kaunteya, who is Kaunteya? Arjun is Kaunteya. Pratijanihi, Pratijane means declare it boldly, declare it. Now, there are many meanings here. Kaunte Pratijanihi, he's saying, Arjun, you declare. What do you declare? Name Bhakta Pranashyati. Anyone knows the meaning of Pranashyati? We have read this word many times. Obviously, you can read on the screen as well. Perishes, but destruction. Pranashyati means destroyed. Me Bhakta, my Bhakta, na Pranashyati, will not be destroyed ever. Why? Because he is doing Bhajate Mam Ananya Bhag. And Sridhar Swami's definition there, he is always have this faith in Krishna. Although he has made some accidental mistake, but he has full faith in Krishna. Krishna is my Lord. His devotional service is very, very powerful. And if he continues that, so even if he had made a mistake, a slip has happened, but Chaitanya Prabhu says the fatality will never happen. Fatality means he will never be a dead devotee. Dead devotee means no more progression possible for him. There are some exams where you can only sit certain number of times and then you cannot sit. You become disqualified. You can attempt, I don't know, ISPCS exam, something like that. 2-3 years you can sit, and then after that you'll say, Hare Krishna, bahut ho gaya, get out, you know. But Krishna never says get out, never says get out. He's such a beautiful, loving father. Huh? And why he's telling Arjun to declare, why he is not saying, I am declaring. So one of the acharyas explained a sort of very sweet meaning here. Sweet meaning, Krishna said, people actually don't trust Krishna. Why? He's a chore. He's a Makhan chore. He's a Gopi Vasan chore. Huh? He's a chore. Who will believe the Vani of chore? Huh? Will you believe the statement of a thief? No. So, but he knows, he loves his devotees. Huh? That devotees know. He himself is a chore. He lies. He lies to Mother Yashoda. Naham bhakshitva amba. Amba, Mother Yashoda, I have not eaten the mud. Mama, मैंने नहीं खाया है. And Anup Jalota sings, Mama, मैं नहीं माखन खायो. What's that bhajan? Maya, मैं नहीं माखन खायो. Huh? So he's speaking lies so many times. Who will trust Krishna? Huh? So he's telling Arjun, you declare. Huh? So he's sort of giving the credit to Arjun more than himself. Arjun, people don't believe me, but they believe you. Huh? You are better than me. And you are my devotee, so you go and declare. What do you declare? Name bhakta pranashati, my devotee will never perish. Now here, perish obviously is not referring to your physical protection. Huh? It may be a physical protection, may not be. When you died, Krishna let him die. But Krishna saved Arjun. Krishna saved Yudhishthira. So it's not a physical protection we're talking about here, talking here, as we have discussed in 922 as well. Protection of Yogshe Mahamiham we're discussing. Is spiritual protection. Huh? The bhakti will be protected. Maharaj Bharat, when he was a dear body, he remembered all his bhakti, all his bhakti. So the important point here is not physical. Kahan protect kar rahe hain Krishna? Where Krishna is protecting me? I'm in so much trouble. That trouble may be the way to get out. That trouble may be the way to get out. Now it doesn't mean you wait for the trouble. Meri life mein koi trouble nahi hai. That's why I'm not becoming serious devotee. So don't wait for the trouble. If Krishna hears that. When Gauranga Prabhu was giving class, some class, I can't remember, he was saying, so he's quoting the verse, Vipita Shantuta Shaswat. So Kunti Maharani says, Krishna, give me more misery. So Gauranga Prabhu says twice, Krishna, Kunti Maharani is saying, I'm not saying. He's saying, just making sure, Krishna, don't think that I am making the prayers. So even he's saying, when I'm making this prayers, I'm becoming, scared that Krishna should not think I'm making the prayer. Once I think Hridayananda Maharaj was in America, or Giriraj Maharaj, I think Giriraj Maharaj was in America, some temple, and he was praying to the deities. And another devotee, I think my Guru Maharaj was explaining that the Maharaj was saying to Krishna, Krishna, please purify me. Now we all pray that like that, huh? Please purify me, purify me. And then Maharaj added, Giriraj Maharaj, softly. Please purify me softly. So when Krishna purifies, it may be very harsh. We cannot take it. Huh? So Maharaj is such a realized person, big person. But Krishna's way of treatment can be very, very different than what we expect. Radhanath Maharaj says, if Krishna asks you, beta, which misery you want? A is the most complex, B is less complex, C is less complex, and D is no complex. Which option will you choose? Be honest. Kunti Maharani will go for A. What we will go for? None of these. D. No misery at all. Krishna, I'm such a nice person. Huh? But Radhanath Maharaj says, but fortunately, Krishna doesn't give you the choices. He just gives you A. Because if he asks you, you'll always go for the least. But fortunately or unfortunately, life doesn't treat you like that. Krishna doesn't ask. Maya Devi, Durga doesn't ask. He just gives you A or B, whatever you deserve. Huh? You'll say, Krishna, why me? Why this and why now? Huh? Mujhe kyun choose kiya? Why me? Why are you punishing me? I'm such a great devotee. And why not my neighbor? Usko dete na, kitna papi hai wo. Uska kuch nahi hai. My neighbor is just enjoying his life. Huh? Or my that relative or my that friend is enjoying. They are so sinful. They're still enjoying. So why me? And then we say, why now? Dena tha to 4 saal ke baad dete. Krishna, I need my 4 years. My son is so small. My daughter is small. I have to fix this and that. Why me and why now? And it says, why this one? Dena tha to koi aur misery de dete. You should have given me a demerit point of 1. Why 5 demerit points? But Radhanath Maharaj says, Krishna doesn't ask these questions. He just gives you. So you should also just take it. Just take it. And even if you cannot handle, first Krishna will not give you something which you cannot handle. And even if you cannot handle, have faith in Krishna. My father is giving me, must have a meaning behind it. And if you just change your perspective in that time of life, the whole life will become sweet. That so-called suffering will become a sweet experience, a sweet exchange between you and Krishna. And then you still maybe suffering from a physical or a mental ailment, but you'll not be miserable in your heart. Not miserable. All right, my Lord. Whatever you desire, whatever you desire. So Krishna is saying to Arjun, you go and boldly declare, Name Bhakta Pranashri, my devotee will never perish. Okay, let's do the 932, and I'll come back to 931 in a minute because we'll read something. Okay, let's do 932. Okay, who will do 932? Anyone who hasn't done? Jai Prakash, Jai Dharma Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Change your name, Prabhuji, on the Zoom. It will help.
Oh, yeah, sorry, Prabhu. Yeah, I'll do.
Justice of peace. He's a very peaceful person.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Mam hi partha vyapashritya.
Mam hi partha vyapashritya.
Ye api syuh papayonayah.
Ye api syuh papayonayah.
Striyo vaishyas tatha shudras.
Striyo vaishyas tatha shudras.
Te api yanti param gatim.
Te api yanti param gatim.
Translation. O son of Pritha, those who take shelter in me, though they be of lower birth, women, Vaishyas, merchants, and Shudras workers, can attain the supreme destination. Prabhupada ki jai.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Now, this is a difficult verse. I hope you can take in a Prabhupada sense. So, if I say something which is disturbing to you, please forgive me. It is one of those tough verses, and you will try to repeat what I have heard. So, Mam hi partha vyapashritya. So, ashritya refers to ashraya, shelter. Vyapashritya will refer to complete shelter. Prabhupada writes, particularly taking shelter. So, complete shelter. Mam means me. So, one who takes my shelter, complete shelter. Yepi Sya refers to they are Papa Yonyaha. So, they, as per traditional Varnashram Dharma, some species are considered not so auspicious, so it's called Papa Yonyaha. Even if they are Papa Yonyaha, means of a lower birth, you can say, Mam hi pa. But if they take complete shelter of me, and then Krishna gives 3 examples in the 3rd line: Striyo, women, Vaishyas, merchants, Tatha, and Shudras, laborers, as Prabhupada writes here. Te pi yanti, they will achieve. Yanti devrata devan. So yanti means achieve, prapti, obtain. What they will obtain? Param gatim, ultimate destination. So Krishna is saying, even if someone who is not of a higher birth, as per conventional Varnashram Dharma, if they take my shelter completely, they will also achieve the final destination. So many times in India, we hear this caste system, lower caste, higher caste, but you see, Krishna is never mentioning anything lower or higher from that perspective, from birth perspective. Now, all the division is being made in Vedic culture as per the habits of the person. If person is unregulated, eating meat and doing those sort of, he's considered Shudra, even if they have taken birth in a Brahman family. And if a Shudra is doing the right activity, he's considered as a devotee. We know so many devotees. One example comes from Haridas Thakur, for example. Born in a so-called Muslim family, he's considered Namacharya. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu personally appreciating him so much. So again, conventional point here is Papa Yonya is Striyo versus Vasudha. So don't get into this terminology here. As per Prabhupada, okay, I'll tell a general. Generally speaking, Striya are more bodily oriented. They have more attachments than men, generally speaking. But Prabhupada said all the men sitting in this class in the previous birth, they were Striyas. And now next birth, you can be Stri again. There is no such classification. It's not a permanent designation. Prabhupada says, as soon as you become devotee, you are the most intelligent person. So we have to look at from that context. But generally speaking, it says if you have taken a male body, you actually had more punya than if you have taken a female body. Now, regardless male or female, we know from Bhagavatam's perspective, if you have got a human body, the human body is Sudurlabha. Out of 8.4 million species, he says human birth is very Sudurlabham Manusham Janma. Prahlad Maharaj says it's not Durlabh, it's Sudurlabh. So regardless within human body, your American body or African body, male body, black body, white body, this and that, the birth itself is very, very, very auspicious. But in a general sense, it says Istri, a woman body, is more oriented to bodily attachments. More bodily identifications is there. Same happens with Vaishyas. Why? Because they deal with the money. They bring all the big money of the society and they want to decorate their house. They want to decorate themselves and they want to look good and all those things. Again, bodily oriented. Shudra, same thing. They are many times unregulated in their rules and regulations. They will go for meat, they will go for alcohol and illicit sex and all that. So they are considered Shudra. So even you are in this situation, and Chaitanya Prabhu very beautifully says, even if this starting point is not so high, this is right. This starting point is not so high, but he says, a starting point doesn't matter once you take off the journey. You'll all reach to the destination. So don't worry about what is our starting point. But as far as you reach to the destination, this is nice, isn't it? So basically, this verse shows the big heart of Krishna, even if you are one of those which does not have so much pious credits, because of more bodily attachment, they can still receive the highest destination if they take one word important, vyapashritya, not ashritya, not like mundane, I'm also Krishna's devotee. No, not like that. A serious taking shelter of Krishna's name and Krishna's devotees, then they can also reach to yanti param gati. Okay, now we go to the 33. Now I said I will go back to 31. I have not gone for a reason. I'll tell you later. Rupam Prabhuji, any question for 31?
Yes, Prabhu. Prabhu, technically, since we all have taken birth in Kali Yuga, this Varnashram system is not applicable to us. We all are Shudra by birth, right?
Yes and no. Yes and no. So it's not applicable in the sense from our birth, we cannot recognize our real caste as Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. But at the same time, Prabhupada did wanted to establish Devi Varnashram. So Bhakti Shastri Prabhupada, Bhakti Shastri Prabhupada had told three sides of ashrama. So one is Varnashram, one is Devi Varnashram, one is Asri Varnashram. So right now what we are following is Asri Varnashram system. And there's a Varnashram system, and the best is Devi. Devi refers to every ashrama you are in, whether Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, where Grahastha, Vanaprastha, whatever, should be related to Krishna, and that becomes a Devi Varnashram. So, and Prabhupada did have a great desire, and Prabhupada says, my work is not complete. I want to establish Varnashram, which Devi Varnashram. So he did wanted us to have clear designations of Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Shudra. Again, not because of your looks and your intellect, your inclinations. If you're inclined like an administrator, you do those services in that direction. You don't have to like cram the shlokas of Shastra only to go back to Godhead. No, not like that. You can still be working in the fields of Krishna and growing flowers for Krishna, veggies for Krishna. That's perfectly fine. You can still go back to Godhead. But what happens? You're suitably situated in your job profile, then you are satisfied. Other people are satisfied. If you put Shudra as a Brahman, you have to learn verses. Will you do a good job? If you put a Brahman in a Kshatriya or Vaishya department, you go and raise funds for Krishna's new temple. Brahman will not be able to do that very nicely. Honestly, he doesn't have that skill or inclination. But if you put Brahman as a teaching, he will do very good. He will do very good. And Vaishya, you cannot put in the same class as Brahman. Because he say, क्या रखा है वर्ष याद करने में? चलो कुछ करते हैं, कुछ करके दिखाना है. I want to show something to the world. Let them do in that direction. So it's more inclination suited for you, for your psychophysical nature. You will do best in Krishna consciousness. Is it okay?
Yes, Prabhu. I was thinking the application side of things, since we don't have a structure at the moment. I know that was the intent, and would have been really good if we are in that sort of scenario. But since we don't have that structure in place now, would you still say that, it's quite obvious we all fall under that Shudra category. So
To begin with, yes, but yes, we do have a structure, Prabhu. Like even in our temples, you see different devotees are doing different sevas. Now, some sevas are common, like 16 hours is common, deity worship is common, reading Bhagavad Gita to an extent is common. At the same time, we do have different types of devotees who like to do different types of sevas. Someone like to chant a lot, someone like to read a lot, someone like to, don't bother about either one of that. They're just 16 ho gaya na, abhi chalo, kuch karna hai. Yeah? So, and we do have that opportunity for every different devotee to be able to do that seva.
Right. I was thinking more from outside ISKCON point of view, like normal people, like external world, outside ISKCON or outside the devotee community. That sort of structure is lacking. So,
yes, and that's why there's a more mess in the society, because people are not doing job which they are suitable for. Brahmanas are all IT people now. So-called Brahmanas.
So-called Brahmanas, yeah.
Yeah, but either they are Shudras or they should not be doing the IT work. One of them, either way. So there is a structure, it has a value, and ISKCON up to an extent has created that. And that's why you see devotees are satisfied. They're not competing with others. They're not trying to, I want to prove I'm the best. They're like, Krishna, I'm happy with my seva. I want to expand my seva. At the same time, they're satisfied. Many of them, you will see that they're very nice, simple people. They're just doing what they are doing for the pleasure of the Lord. And there's happy people because they have been situated in that sort of, the opportunity is given to them. Because if they give a different opportunity to that person, he will be unsatisfied sooner or later. Yeah. Okay. Jai Dharma Prabhu.
On the same note, Prabhu, I think somewhere, I don't know whether it was in one of the scripture, there is a shloka which says, Janmana jayate Shudra samskarat bhavaha. So I think it's the same thing what we read in one of the Bhagavad Gita shlokas. It's not by birth, but through karma and guna is what one gets.
413 Chaturvarne Maya system, Guna Karma Vibhagashaha.
So it's a simple.
Yes, very, very nice. This is a Yudhishthir Yaksha Samvad where Yaksha is asking, this is Yudhishthir Nahush Maharaj Samvad, Nahush in the form of a big snake when he has captured Bhima. So he's asking question to Yudhishthir Maharaj, is Brahman by birth? So in response to that, Yudhishthir Maharaj gives this verse. Janma Jayate Shudra Sanskarat Bhavedija. So that's a very nice. Yudhishthir Maharaj saying the same thing. And after that, he also says, even in Dwapar Yuga, that time, the Varnashram is not fully established. So Yudhishthir is saying Varnashram is not fully established. So what to speak of now, 2023 in Sydney, we are sitting. Yudhishthir was also not satisfied that time with the clear designations. And he said it's becoming hybrid now. And Arjun also talks in the first chapter, Varn Sankar. So this hybrid is going on for a while. It's not new thing. Now it's very big hybrid now, but it's been there. And our acharyas are very clear. It is based on guna and karma. Okay, let's move to the 33. So we have two beautiful verses. So 932 is talking about who has a lower starting point. Now 933 is talking about one who have a higher starting point. Higher starting point means a Brahman. From the birth, devotee children. Hari Bol, Hare Krishna. All they speak is about Hari, 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 Narayan, Krishna, Radha, and all that. So nice, so nice. So let's read 933. Who hasn't done as yet? Raghavi Mataji.
I just tried. Kim punar brahmana punya.
Kim punar brahmana punya.
Bhakta rajas yastatha.
Bhakta rajas yastatha.
Anityam asukham lokam.
Anityam asukham lokam.
Imam prapya bhajasva mam.
Imam prapya bhajasva mam.
How much more this is so of the righteous Brahmanas, the devotees and the saintly kings. Therefore, having come to this temporary miserable world, engage in loving service unto me. Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you, Mataji. So the previous verse was Mam hi pa vyapashita ye pisuya papayonas. Even if they are papayoni, what they will achieve? Yanti param gatim, right? So even if they have a lower starting point, they have some inherent faults. Now, one comparison which I forgot to do, let's do that. So 931. Okay, let's do that. Then I'll proceed further. So 930 was talking about Chesudracharo, right? So we spoke about how Krishna sort of accepts the bhajan of the devotee even after he has made a mistake. And we call this as a incidental fault. So now after incidental fault, the second verse, 32, explain the inherent faults. Inherent faults means one who you cannot change. Like you have a particular body, can you change your body? You can put some cream and other things. You cannot really change your body. So 932 is talking about the inherent fault. So either you have accidental fault, incidental fault, or you have inherent faults. The result is in your hand. Ye piyanti, te piyanti parangati, right? You can achieve it. And 933 is talking about the big starters. From the very birth, you have a very big opportunity to be Krishna conscious. So it's a Kim Punar. So even if the Papa Yonya can get the biggest destination, do you think these Brahmanas will not achieve the destination? Isn't it? So it's like sort of encouraging a statement. Like even the lowest student in the class can pass Bhakti Shastri. Then what to speak of, say, Rasanand Prabhuji? He's the topper. If I give that analogy, what basically I'm saying, if he can or she can pass the exam, what to speak of Rasanand Prabhu? You understand? So the whole spectrum basically is given by Krishna. Even if you are a low starter point, accidental fault, inherent fault, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Or you're the highest one. Who are the highest one? Examples are Brahmanas, Punya Brahman. So here the word is Punya Brahmana. Punya Brahman means very pious Brahmanas. Now, in Vedic culture, mostly, if I can say, if not all the time, Brahman referred to Vaishnava in Vedic culture. So Brahman, nowadays Brahmans and Vaishnavas are a little different for practicality reasons. But in the Vedic culture, Brahman means the Vaishnava, who is a worshipper of a Vishnu. They were not Brahmans who were, worshipping this demigod, that demigod, eating meat and alcohol and all that. That's not a Brahman. They still consider themselves as Brahman. Vedic culture, Brahman was a Vaishnava. So Kim Punar Brahmana Punya, so Punyavan Brahman. And the second category says Bhakta. Third category says Raj Rishayaha. Has anyone seen this Raj Rishi word earlier in Bhagavad Gita? What's the verse?
Chapter 4.
4.2.
Can you say the verse?
Evam parampara praptam imam rajasaya viduhu sata neha mahata yoga nashtata parampapa.
Thank you, Prabhuji. This is Rasanand Prabhuji. Kahin se bhi button dabao. Anywhere you press the button, a shloka will come out. Thank you, Prabhu. Very encouraging for us. So the point is, anyone is eligible to go back to Godhead. So as I said, the whole spectrum is given from accidental faults to inherent fault. Inherent fault you cannot change. Suppose a woman want to become a man. Okay, in this world, people can, and Prabhupada said, you don't have to change your sex through operation. Nature does that automatically, without operation. Nature does it. Just wait for some time. If you're so desirous to get that body, you'll get that body. So these Brahmanas, Bhakta or Raj Rishi. So Arjun is mentioned in which category here? Raj Rishi. Why is it mentioned? Arjun is still doubting Krishna. You're the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and I know you said Patram Pushpam Phalam Toyame, your worship is very shubh, and this, but I'm still not sure whether I will make it to this Bhakti Shastri exam. Krishna is saying, don't worry about it. Even a Papa Yonya can make it back to Godhead. So what to speak of Brahmans, Bhaktas, and you? You are a Raj Rishi. Why Arjun is a Raj Rishi? The comments are given in the first chapter. If he was not a Raj Rishi, he was just a Raja, he said, Maro, kill and get the kingdom, who cares? Because he's a Rishi, he stopped. Krishna, I'm not going to fight. Even if Duryodhan kills me, it doesn't matter. He's thinking about the generations, isn't it? He's saying what will happen to Istriya, what will happen to the society, what will happen to Pitaras. He's talking all this. He's a Rishi, he's a devotee, he's a man of a high character. And then he's saying, all these categories, low or high, what will Anityam Asukham Lokam, don't be attracted towards this Anityam and Asukha Loka. Imam Prape Bhajasumam. Actually, you can achieve me. If you worship me, Bhajasumam, you can achieve me. So basically, Krishna is saying everyone is welcome, isn't it? You are a lower, you are a higher. you are on this category, that category, it doesn't matter. If you take Vyapashritya, my complete shelter, you can come back to me. And then Krishna gives the most beautiful verse. I said that for every verse, because every verse is like that. The last verse of this chapter, and Krishna says, don't worry about this, just concentrate on this one. And let's see what four things Krishna is going to tell in this verse. Who wants to, who hasn't done it? Charu Mataji, you have done? Oh, Vinay Prabhu, yes, please, Prabhuji. Sorry, you were in uniform, so I did not ask.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Manmana bhava madbhakta.
Manmana bhava madbhakto.
Madhyaji mang namaskuru.
Madhyaji mam namaskuru.
Mam eva shashi yuktevam.
Mam eva shashi yuktaivam.
Atmanang matparayanaha.
Atmanam matparayanaha.
Translation. How much more this is so of the righteous Brahmanas, the devotees, and the saintly kings. Therefore, having come to this.
Prabhuji, 934 translation. I think you're reading 933.
Oh, no, sorry, sir. Yes.
That's okay.
Engage your mind always in thinking of me. Become of my devotees. Offer obeisances to me and worship me. Being completely absorbed in me, surely you will come to me. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. So now Krishna is saying, don't worry about which part you come from, higher, lower, inherent forms, accidental forms. Just focus on these things. What are these things? Man, mana. Give your mind to me. Now, we all have our mind, and we have given our mind to different people or different things in the world. Like we give mind to our family, our house, our insurances, our money, our security cameras, and blah, blah, blah. Huh? We give our mind to everything. But Krishna is saying, give your mind to me. You would have seen that t-shirts, I've lost my mind in Vrindavan. Huh? Everyone seen those t-shirts? So that's what the objective is. Jananda Maharaj was saying that's false. You have not given mind to Vrindavan, otherwise you will not be here in city wearing that t-shirt. Anyway, so man mana. And if you cannot give mind, so there are four sort of hierarchies here as well. If you cannot give your complete mind to me, what you can do? Bhava mad bhakto. Now it has two meanings here. Give your mind to me in such a way that you become my devotee. I'll give it opposite example. Kansa was seeing Krishna everywhere. You remember that? His wife was coming, say, I'm looking, Krishna is coming. You give chapati to Kansa, he's like, oh, Krishna is in the plate. So Kansa was also very Krishna conscious in that sense, right? Marichi, when Ravan is saying about kidnapping Sita, Marichi is saying, Ravan, are you okay? Whoever has given you this advice to kidnap Sita, he is your worst enemy. Who had given the advice to Ravan? Shupnaka. So he said that whoever has given you this advice of kidnapping Sita, he is your worst enemy, because when Ram has just touched me with one arrow, he flew me 800 miles away and I landed in Mauritius. That's what they say, huh? Marichi landed in Mauritius. This Marichi Island, Mauritius Island. So, and after that, I'm so scared of Ram. Even if I look in the sky, I look at the sun, I think Ram is coming. I look at the moon, I think Ram is coming. I'm so scared of this word Ram that day and night I am so conscious of Ram. Now, Marichi, Kansa, Ravan, all these examples, they did Shishupal. They give their mind to Krishna, but was it in a favorable way? No, unfavorable way. So Vanacharya has explained, man mana, you give your mind to Krishna in such a way, bhava means become, mad bhakta, you become my devotee. So keep giving your mind to Krishna to become devotee of Krishna. Third thing, madhyaji. So I'll explain in two perspectives. So one is the hierarchy. If you cannot give your mind to Krishna, become my devotee of Krishna. If you cannot become devotee of Krishna, madhyaji, do upasana. If you remember 926, 927, offer with bhakti. If you cannot offer with bhakti, just offer. So you cannot become devotee of Krishna like most of us. In one sense, we are not devotees. We are aspiring devotees of Krishna. We are not devotees of Krishna. So what we can do, madhyaji, do worship of Krishna. We all do deity worship at home. Huh? We may not have a lot of devotion, but we do deity worship. You cannot do deity worship. Mam namaskuru, Baba namaskar to karo. Bow your head down in front of Krishna deity, in front of Prabhupada. Do namaskar, offer your obeisances to Krishna. So you see the hierarchy from highest to lowest. Even if you do one of them, or Acharya says, you'll eventually become Manmana Bhavaman Bhakto. Or you do all four of them. So Manmana, you give your mind to Krishna. You become devotee of Krishna. Devotee of Krishna means you perform all the different devotional practices. That's called a devotee of Krishna. Madhyaji refers to one type of devotional practice to Krishna, right? So it's hierarchy. You do all types of devotional practices, like Navadha Bhakti, for example, or you do one type of devotional service. Even if you cannot do one type, just do pranam to me. Lord Shiva says in Ramayana to Parvati Ma, I don't know any I don't have any devotion for Lord Ram. All I can do is one thing, Nam and Pranam. Nam refers to Ram Nam, and Pranam is, he says, I take Nam of Ram and I do Pranam to Ram. So even if you do these two things, Nam and Pranam, the last verse of Bhagavatam also says that, Pranamo Yasha Shamnas. So if you do Pranam to Krishna, Nama Sankirtanam Yasya, if you do Nam of Krishna, you will become free from all the papa and you'll go back to God. So same thing is being said here. So if you do four things, so first I've sort of established the relationship and I've given the hierarchy as well. If you do four things, one of them or all four of them, eventually Mam Eveshwasi Yuktaivam, you will become my conscious. And then Atmanam, your Atma, your soul. Either soul does not refer to a physical soul, it refers to your subtle body. Subtle body is made up of Man, Buddhi, and Ahankar. So you've given your Ahankar because you're doing offering Pranam to Krishna. What Bali Maharaj did? Pranam to Krishna actually. Vibhishan did Pranam to Krishna. So you're doing offering obeisances to Krishna. So you're giving Ahankar to Krishna. Man. And man is already mentioned here. Krishna is saying, give man to here. And buddhi means from buddhi, you do all the other things. So you're giving man, buddhi, and ahankar. Basically, your whole subtle body is becoming Krishna conscious. So mam eveshis yuktavam, when you become completely surrendered to me, atmanam mat parayanaha. So you will surely come to me. Parayan also refers to take shelter of it. So if you give your whole existence, heart and soul to Krishna, you will go back to Krishna. And that is the most important point. Other points are not important. You are a Striya, you are Vaishya, you are Shudra, you are Brahman, you are a Raja, you are a Kshatriya. It doesn't matter. So Krishna is happy to accept anyone and everyone if they are able to perform the devotion to Krishna nicely, regardless of, even if you make a big mistake, it doesn't matter. And how do you worship Krishna? Patram pushpam phalam toyam. You're a Stri, you're a Vaishya, it doesn't matter. You're a Brahman, it doesn't matter. So all things come to one conclusion. What is that conclusion? Take shelter of Krishna, become devotee of Krishna, and go back to Krishna. Okay? I'll stop here. It's 9:20 sharp, 5 minutes over. Sundar Prabhu, any quick announcements?
Krishna Prabhu, just one thing. The class will be on Sunday, and since we last time discussed, maybe the time before, on the Sunday, Prasannan Prabhuji will discuss on the model answers.
Oh, Jai, I forgot about that. Thank you. So Prasannan Prabhu, you're ready?
Yes, Prabhu. I think short answers only, right, Prabhu?
Yes, 7, 8, and 9. So what I highly recommend is please do your answers and then sort of match up with the class discussion. And if there's some improvements needs to be made, you do that. And on that note, I guess 7th May is the last date of the assignment submission. And after that, honestly, no assignments will be accepted. So please do send your assignment of chapter 7, 8, and 9 max by 7th of May. And we are literally keeping track of everything this time. So after 7th May, sorry, no exceptions, unless there's a real emergency in someone's family, but do it now. It's a very few questions, and Rasan Prabhu will also sort of go through in the class first 20 minutes or something.
You want me to go through each answers, Prabhu, or?
I think each one we can, there are very few, Prabhuji, but don't sort of, expand, just one-liner, two-liner, and we sort of, if someone has a question, they can ask, they say, Prabhuji, I have this view, and we can clarify that. And then just move on, literally 15, 20 minutes. There are only few questions. Yeah.
Oh,
And
just
also one point before I forget, 23rd is Siksha ceremony in temple. It's a very nice ceremony. You can go to an ISKCON website, and if you want to register yourself, if you have not done it, please do. It's very nice, and it's nice encouragement for the devotees. Sorry, Sundar Prabhu, please go on.
So in terms of the format, I was just going to ask, will we do the question answers?
Questions first, and then we move to the 10th chapter.
Then we do
Yes.
the
Yes.
revision.
So dedicate 15-20 minutes from 3:30, 10 minutes kirtan, and 4 o'clock we'll start our class.
Yeah, it's 3:30.
We'll keep it simple and short. No like huge discussions on those questions, but whatever is needed, we'll just sort of discuss. That's all.
So class start time is 3:30, not 4.
3:30, definitely. Same start time, no change.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
all
start
good?
with the question answers, then the revision, and then the next chapter.
Yes, Prabhuji. Then we'll start the next chapter. Okay.
Sure. Thank you.
So thank you everyone. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Bhagavad Gita ki jai. Gaur Premanand.
Jai. Hari Hari Bol.